Okie dokie, on my studio hotline now, well, you're in for a treat, listeners. We have Kris James, a male solo artist here in the UK, going to talk about his music career and latest single and album as well. Welcome. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're brilliant. And you're welcome. I was about to say, but where in the world are you at the moment? Your accent may give it away.
Well, I am actually from Liverpool, but I'm actually in London.
Brill. And we are here to talk about your new single and your new album as well, which is a nice 10 tracker as well.
Yeah, I decided, a lot of people, they do 12 and 14 and 16. I just thought, for the first album, let's just do a nice round number. So 10 is nice. It's about 40 minutes of music. And, it's been released on Friday and I've been getting lots of great feedback. So I'm really thankful. I'm very happy and relieved as well, believe it or not.
Brill. And Dreamer is a Focus record. What does this song entail?
So Dreamer is about a lot of my music is follows a similar pattern. It's about like me being in a relationship that kind of broke down, and I'm kind of dreaming of being with that person again. So it's kind of like saying, am I a dreamer? Because I'm basically still in love with you, and maybe we shouldn't have broke up. I think in relationships, like if you're together for an exterior, say 2 years, and maybe out of the 2 years, 4 months are bad. I think before you end it, you should really look at the 20 months of brilliance that you had, rather than focusing on like that small amount which may end it. So Dreamers, like, it's kind of me thinking, looking at old photographs, thinking, oh, really, Dad made a bit of a mistake here, but I'm dreaming that maybe we could one day be back together again, because I'm basically still in love with you.
That's quite a sweet story. So it's reflecting on the what ifs, but in a positive way, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm with you.
Reminiscing.
Yes. And this new EP, does it feature like many forms of music, like fast songs, slow songs?
Yeah. On the album, actually, there's around about 8. So out of the 10, I've been getting asked a long time, like, can you do a ballad? Come on, you've got a good voice, do a ballad. So I'm like you said, I'm very like, I like to be up tempo. I like people I want to hear it in the bars, the restaurants. I always think albums are a bit. I'll leave that to Adele. Let's say, it's get like the album ballads. Adele's good at that, but I did 2 ballads actually, and for a strange reason, it's not strange because they're great songs, but everybody has been really, really impressed with the ballads. So the album is a mix of pop rock, mainly pop, very mid to high tempo, but there's 2 tracks called Unhappy Anniversary and Addicted to You, and they're the ballads, and they've really been taken really well. So it was a risk for me, because I'm not known for ballads. I'm known for out and out pop, radio pop. So I'm happy I did it, because people are loving them. So yeah.
Wow. So we got something for everyone on the album, even songs to get you dancing as well.
Exactly.
And has the making of this album been quite a long journey for you?
Absolutely. I mean, the songs have probably they've been written over the past 5 to 6 years. I was due to release the album 2 years ago, but then we had the pandemic, so we thought we'd hold off, hang fire, and then we released on Friday. So the album's probably been 5 years in the making. Some of the songs I wrote even before that. Out of those 10, we probably wrote 90 songs and chose the best 10. So it's been a long process, but I'm really happy it's out now, because it allows me now to start going on tour, which is where I really love. I love to perform live, so that's going to really make me feel very happy when I can get on a stage next year and perform, because that's when you get true feedback.
Yeah. Meet the fans and your followers as well. That's a good feeling.
Absolutely, yeah. They're the most brilliant people, and it's so nice to be appreciated. So I in turn appreciate all of them. So I always give my time to everyone that wants to come and say hello. I've never really understood people that don't do that, because it's like, without them, you basically are singing in your bedroom. Let's face it, you know what I mean.
And also, you mentioned the process of this album. Not many people know that when musicians write albums, it's not just those 10 tracks which people have worked on. You may have had other tracks you've written, but you've had to choose the best tracks to make that album.
Like anything, I suppose, even artists, you can never proclaim that every single thing you do is brilliant. I mean, I've wrote some terrible songs, but I think the more you do, the better you become at it. And I think the older you become, the better you become at it, because you have better, you have more serious problems and more, as we all know, the older you get, the more responsibility you get. And so I take all my influence from the problems that I have, and also the good times. It's not all good doom and gloom. You know what I mean?
Yes, true. Songwriting is a craft, as you say, as you mature, you chip away, and you get good at it. Like most things, does perseverance pay off in the end?
Absolutely. I think a lot of people don't really realize that the moment you hear my music on the radio, or you might see me on a TV interview or whatever it is, that's a 10-year process. Like, I've been doing music for 15 years, and it's taken a good 10 years to get to the point where I'm breaking through and getting chart positions, because it is very, very hard to get through the dominance of the big major players and the big artists. Like, I released my album on Friday. You've got Ed Sheeran, Adele. I mean, come on, the biggest acts in the world have decided to release on Bonfire Night, and I think it's a good night to release. So I'm made up to be in that kind of group of people. But for me, I didn't ever think that it would chart, but it's the mechanism which is going to allow me to go on tour, which is where I really come to life. So yeah, it is. But if a lot of artists don't have the patience, they go after 5 years, it hasn't worked, I'm going to give up. And like, I've never done anything but be an artist. I've got a few businesses now, because in Corona, I thought I might as well do something with my time. So I set up like a men's swimwear, which is all made out of recycled plastic bottles. So in a matter of fact, I probably wouldn't have done that for another 10 years. So that coronavirus time has allowed me to do other things, which I probably wouldn't have got to do, until I finish music.
That's good to have a backup plan, a contingency, a sideline project as well. Not many people can have that, just as a safety net, just in case.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And a couple of questions just to close the interview. If you had to choose one person to see in concert, who would it be? And that one person could be dead or alive.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, good answer.
It's quite funny. I live near the King's Road in London, in Chelsea, and I once had he's now a very good friend of mine. He's he's a journalist called David Wigg. David Wigg is famous for, he was the only journalist that Freddie would speak to. So of course I bumped into him casually over coffee in this little coffee shop in Chelsea, and he told me all these stories. And then I went on Google and checked him out. He's called David Wigg. And because Freddie was he didn't like to be interviewed by people he didn't know, and he just didn't like to be interviewed. He just didn't like it. So the stories this guy has told me are just unbelievable, about Freddie. But what a showman. It's just so sad what happened to him. If that would have happened now, it would be a totally different story. But yeah, he was just, from songwriting, the thing that I find amazing now is, you look at, without being rude about it, because I'm not, but you look at like a Beyonce song where she's got, there's no doubt about it, one of the best voices in the industry, but she has 18 songwriters on a song. You look at Bohemian Rhapsody, one songwriter, maybe, I'm probably Brian May, 2 songwriters. So you've got like Destiny's Child, 18 songwriters, but you've got one of the biggest songs of classics of all time, 2 songwriters. So I kind of feel like, when you are a real musician, you can write your own stuff. I don't really value, I value vocal ability, but I don't value somebody that has 18 other people writing a song for them, because it's not that hard if you've got that talent,
True. And your official website, where people can check out more information, do you have it as well? Is it krisjamesmusic.com?
That's correct. And it's Kris with a K. So it's KRIS, jamesmusic.com. And on there, you'll be able to find my tour dates, everything I'm doing, acting soft on TikTok and all the social medias. And basically, you'll be able to see all my YouTube videos as well.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for taking time out to speak to me today. We're going to get one of your tracks played now. Kris James, thanks for taking time out to be interviewed by me, Danny, on my radio show.
Thank you so much for having me, and I really appreciate the support on the record. Thanks so much, Danny.
It's a pleasure.